On this episode of UMTV News, the U.S. government shutdown is negatively affecting public services in the country as it drags into its second week. We will tell you how your flight might be affected.
It's been 2 years since the October 7th terrorist attacks on Israel. The anniversary and updates on promising peace talks in the Israel-Hamas war coming up.
And later on, the Hurricanes blow past the Florida State Seminoles to become back-to-back state champions.
All of these stories and more on today's show.
UMTV News starts right now. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of UMTV News. I'm Taryn Jacobs.
And I'm Gracie Herberholt. Thank you for joining us. It's been 2 years today since the attacks of October 7th, 2023, when Hamas militants launched a brutal assault on southern Israel, killing more than 12,000 people and taking hundreds hostage. The attack triggered a war that has reshaped the region, displacing entire communities across both Gaza and Israel. This week, memorial ceremonies were held across the world. Hundreds of empty chairs lined Columbia University's Butler lawn, representing those killed in the massacre.
That shouldn't be a picture in every chair. That should be a human life, but it isn't anymore.
Look at all these faces.
2 years later, the trauma remains, but so do the calls for resolution and healing for all of those affected.
Talks between Israel and Hamas to end the war continue, mediated by the United States, Egypt, and Qatar. The talks will most likely focus on two parts of Trump's 20-point proposal. The proposal suggests exchanging Palestinian prisoners for Israeli captives, as well as pulling Israeli military from parts of Gaza. The plan calls for the release of hostages within 72 hours of agreement.
The ongoing government shutdown is beginning to directly impact air travel. A dozen Federal Aviation Administration facilities across the U.S. saw staffing shortages last night as air traffic controllers call out sick. With the government shutdown sliding into its seventh day, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers are wondering if there is an end in sight.
They're thinking about, am I going to get a paycheck?
Controllers are considered essential workers, so they must work during the shutdown, but are not being paid.
We want to make sure we have air travel safe and controllers focused not on their mortgages, not on the next paycheck, not on food on the table, but actually on making sure you and your family are safe.
12 FAA facilities saw staffing shortages Monday night. The control towers in Burbank, Phoenix, and Denver had so-called staffing triggers reported in the public FAA operations plan. Other facilities that handle air traffic around airports in Newark, New Jersey, Jacksonville, Florida, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Indianapolis also were short-staffed, which in some cases caused hours-long delays.
If we have additional sick calls, we will reduce the flow consistent with a rate that's safe for the American people.
Former air traffic controller Harvey Skolnick says anytime a facility isn't staffed properly, it has a ripple effect.
It has an effect on breaks. It has an effect on controllers getting time off. It has an effect on training. And the job is tough enough as it is. And when you have to work 6 days a week, and now you're not getting paid on time, so everything has a cumulative effect on the FAA.
The National Air Traffic Controllers Association, that represents more than 20,000 employees, said that many of them are already working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, and that the shutdown has put them further under strain.
With a residency of more than 50 years at the Miami Beach Convention Center, the Miami International Auto Show has proven to be one of the top attractions for automotive fans here in South Florida. And now the attraction is unveiling new technology to keep up with the move into more environmentally friendly modes of transportation. Johnny Muschin attended the event and joins us live with more. Johnny?
Yeah, Taryn, the Miami International Auto Show is continuing on bringing together automakers and fans to celebrate the innovation of the automotive industry. However, this year they're a little bit more focused on the future, specifically highlighting those new technologies and vehicles that can impact the environment in both a protective and a positive way. Held inside the Miami Beach Convention Center, the Miami International Auto Show has been a hotspot for fans to see the latest in car technology for over 50 years. And while visitors can certainly get their fix of the newest sleek designs that are set to hit the shelves, this year the event highlights the transition from gas-powered vehicles to electronic ones for a cleaner environmental alternative.
What you're seeing in the way of advances with technology, safety issues, and the advent, as I said earlier, the electric vehicles. You really want to look at electric vehicles from a standpoint of what's best for the environment. And I think that's where the industry is trying to go. Trying to look for the future and making sure that, the air that we breathe is good air. And I think that's where the industry is going.
One of the highlights of the event is the interactive element, where attendants can sit inside the vehicle to truly understand the capabilities of electronic cars. The Jeep Camp has been a staple at the show for years, but this year will be the first time fans will be able to experience a new form of test track. And right behind me, automotive fans and attendants are lining up to hop in one of these new models for the first ever electronic vehicle test track right here at Miami Beach. This premier test track allows for attendants to sit in with a professional driver and experience how the speed and acceleration of modern-day electronic vehicles function. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, gas-powered vehicles burn over 8,000 grams of carbon dioxide per gallon, with a typical passenger vehicle releasing 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide every year. With the ever-growing amount of futuristic technology, the Miami International Auto Show hopes that attendants can still celebrate the history of where cars started before fully embracing where they're going.
Well, it's history. We have automotive history here from the turn of the 20th century, but it's this automotive industry. People come here and they can see all the new cars and what's coming out next year and future model years, but they get to see a piece of history of American and European automotive because we cover everything that we can here.
Now, the Miami International Auto Show will be closing soon, but similar events in New York City and Los Angeles will continue throughout the rest of the year to continue to spread the message about protecting the environment through the use of non-gas-powered vehicles. Live in Coral Gables, Johnny Mushton, UMTV.
Thank you, Johnny. And coming up on UMTV News, we will tell you what the new owners of the Tampa Bay Rays are planning for the future of the team. And we will introduce you to one athlete who is showcasing his talents on a local recreational basketball team after a short break.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
A recreational basketball league in Coral Springs is paving the way for young athletes and creating a space for true talent to shine. Delaney Haddad met with him and joins us now live with more. Delaney?
Gracie, there are plenty of challenges that come with playing a sport, but one athlete in South Florida proves time and time again that no obstacle is too big to overcome. A true athlete trains hard, is dedicated, and knows self-discipline. And 16-year-old Florida native Alex Gracia is no exception.
I practice every day. I shoot every single day. You have to be practicing and focused every time you're in a game.
But Alex isn't like most athletes. His training goes beyond the average basketball players.
When I was born, I had a stroke, and the right side of my body got paralyzed.
And that stroke led to hemiplegia. Hemiplegia is a medical condition that causes paralysis or weakness on one side of the body. The condition affects roughly 1 in 1,000 children, 80% of those cases occurring around the time of birth. It typically affects the arm, leg, and face on the same side, leading to challenges with motor skills, grasping objects, balance, and walking. But for Alex, his condition only proves that true athleticism comes from determination, not limitation.
Despite his disabilities, he doesn't make any excuses.
He doesn't ask for handouts. He comes to practice every day, doesn't want to be treated any different, and his teammates don't treat him any different, and neither do I. And the team really just gels around him.
At first, I was really surprised on how well he holds his own. Even with harsh defenses, he's able to create passes and to just score like a normal player. Like, he's just as much of a threat as like your average rec player.
Day in and day out, Alex exceeds all expectations. But what he really wants is to play the sport he loves, surrounded by like-minded athletes.
It's really easy to become friends with the people here because everyone's so friendly and everyone's so nice, and they're all just come here to play basketball. You know, they're all happy, they all support me. They're always there for me every time I mess up, or even if I do well. They're always there supporting me.
We feed off of him, and it's just he comes to practice, he works hard, no excuses, so nobody else comes with excuses, and everybody always gives me 110% in practice because of Alex.
And it's clear to see that his passion and drive for the game is an inspiration to those around him.
It makes you think when you're having a bad day, like there are people who weren't gifted as much as you, and they're trying way harder than you, so that really shows that you can motivate and you can try to be just like him. I love that guy, man. He's a great guy. And I'm so proud of what he does on the court. It's amazing.
Alex plans to try out for his high school varsity basketball team later this month. And one day, he hopes to play in the NBA. Reporting live from Coral Gables, Delaney Haddad, UMTV.
Thank you, Delaney. The new owners of the Tampa Bay Rays have shared their plans for the future of the team. The group brought the team late last month for roughly $1.7 billion, and they held their first news conference Tuesday. Among other developments, they said they want to have a stadium by 2029. The stadium will be fully enclosed. The site will be roughly 100-acre development with hotels, office and retail spaces, restaurants, bars, and more.
The Miami Hurricanes are officially back-to-back state champions after beating Florida State this weekend. The Canes are 5-0, heading into their second bye week of the season. Let's head to Doak Cable Stadium in Tallahassee for the highlights. Late in the first, Miami down by 3, and Carson Beck finds CJ Daniels to get on the board. Into the second quarter, Tommy Castellanos throws it deep for the Seminoles, but Bryce Fitzgerald picks it off for the Canes, and he's off to the races. Next play, Beck launches it from the 50 and finds true 17-year-old Malachi Toney in the end zone and goes up by 11. Later in the second, Castellanos with the ball, but Miami's defensive line puts him down to sack and stop the Noles. In the second half now, a dart from Beck to Toney, who jabs right and then goes left to beat the defender and take it all the way home. Canes up 21. It's CJ Daniels again, who steps on the gas and blows through Florida State's defense. Miami is up 28-3 heading into the fourth. FSU put out a strong showing in the last quarter, closing the lead, but it was not enough, and Miami goes on to the win 28-22 in Tallahassee.
And speaking of Miami football, if you're driving on I-95, you may have noticed a new mural on the side of the highway. That mural commemorates 100 years of Miami Hurricanes football. The art takes Hurricanes fans on a walk down memory lane, highlighting football's history over the past century. Some of the highlights include the year UM won their first national championship, a 1989 Sugar Bowl victory over the Alabama Crimson Tide, and the 2001 undefeated season represented by the fan holding the U up in the center. Nestled in the heart of the Wynwood neighborhood, the mural connects the culture of creativity with the legacy of grit.
It's huge to have it in the neighborhood because the fans will come to the neighborhood. It gives new life to the neighborhood. It introduces many people to the neighborhood that kind of don't think about Wynwood as a place to celebrate UM football.
The piece came together after 5 artists worked tirelessly for 3 weeks. However, in recent days, the mural was defaced with someone painting the people's teeth yellow. This is expected to be fixed by the artist, and the art will remain on display for the foreseeable future until another artist chooses to paint over it. Gracie, I went over there the other day, and it's truly insane what they did with that.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to go check it out this weekend.
For sure. That's all the time we have for this episode of UMTV News.
We'll be on fall break next week, but be sure to tune in again in 2 weeks. Have a great evening.